the Indian profile of investment that is being presented to Spain at this moment, and I'd be interested to hear whether this is the experience of other agencies in the room, is very much they are awash with money and they just want to buy anything. And so, of course, that's a different sort of investment. But yes, the opportunities are real, I would say.
Okay. Claire, how's your presence outside of Europe?
We have 2 offices in China and 2 in India.
Okay.
I'll tell you a little story that happened in our office the other day. Sorry, Andy, but and this is my answer. My answer to the question is in the papers lately. It's been interest from various organizations to buy into Canadian potash. And Andy came into my office and said, "Potash?
What it is.
Acquisition, don't worry about it." So the answer is I do not think there is much coming from China and India on investment that isn't an acquisition.
Right.
In particular, companies like Tata have many companies they own in Ontario and in Canada. Companies out of China, there are many that come and acquire.
We see at the moment in China is an interesting process. Where in the earlier stages we had mainly the state-run companies, then the logistics and shipping and so on companies came, then some big other industry companies and many small ones, like I said. But at the moment we see that those companies like Haier, Hisense, and so selling also their own brands, not only doing OEM manufacturing, but also selling products under their own brand in the electronics field in particular. They very strongly come to Europe at the moment. They are very professional in analyzing where they go, and then they do a decision, and then they set up a medium-sized structure. This is a very interesting process.
Apart from the obvious work permits, do you see them having, especially this last group of companies, having specific requirements that differentiate them from companies from other countries?
I would say basically, it's these visa things and these things related to how to let's say how to establish yourself also physically. And we had the same situation, like you mentioned, with the administration, with all these hindering paragraphs, which are in particular for Chinese companies, for some others as well, Russians, for example, are in a similar situation. What we did in Hamburg, we have set up the Hamburg Welcome Center. The Hamburg Welcome Center is physically or administrationally, it's related to the immigration department. And on the other hand, it's physically located in the Chamber of Commerce, so it's a business environment. They speak English, they speak French, Russian, Chinese, something else, Spanish. They have a team of 8-9 people, and you make an appointment there. You are invited over to sit down to have a coffee and then do your interview. It's a totally different atmosphere, and that's what I want to say, than going to an authority, pull a number in the morning, still queuing up in the afternoon, what we had before. And this is highly appreciated by, in particular, those high-ranking companies like Olympus or Johnson & Johnson or some others, who really have also important people or people who don't want to queue up the whole day in the immigration department.